Hi there, business owner, and welcome to the 3Bs podcast, the place where we go beyond the numbers and dive into strategies to help you build a better business one step at a time. I'm your host, Stephanie, a multi-award-winning entrepreneur with over a decade of experience in the bookkeeping and accountancy world. If you're a business owner looking to streamline, grow, and get back the time that you deserve, you're in the right place. We're tackling real-world problems, answering tough questions, and digging deep into business-building secrets in just 15 minutes each week. So are you ready to build a better business with confidence and clarity? Then let's go. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the 3Bs podcast, your go-to place for 15 minutes of CPD certified motivation, education and inspiration each week. As always, I'm your host, Stephanie Marshall, and today I want to talk about something that's become almost untouchable in online business culture, and that is the side hustle obsession. Now, before anyone comes at me, I'm not anti-side hustle. I have multiple businesses that I run myself. I love a good idea. I love people earning on their own terms, and I love financial independence. But I'm seeing more and more business owners feeling behind because they've got just one income stream, or they're not building passive incomes, or they're not launching a course, or selling candles on Etsy alongside a full-time job, parenting, and running their main business too. That pressure is not always helpful. In fact, it's often the thing making people falter or not even start before they've even hit their stride. So today I want to unpack that myth, that hustle culture, the reality, and what it actually means in business. So let's get into it. We've all seen the quotes. Don't rely on one income stream. Make money while you sleep. Every millionaire has 7 income streams. And look, having multiple revenue streams are smart. Like I said, I do it myself across my own businesses, but not when your main business hasn't even found its rhythm. When your main business is still growing, still building, is not financially stable yet, is not running sustainably and making the money it needs to make to keep a roof over your head. As a business owner, don't start adding things in until that first thing is solid, because we've all done it. We've all looked at the shiny object syndrome. We've all been those little magpies that have gone, oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I've done so many courses. I've signed up for so many trainings and certifications for things that are really not relevant because the shiny object syndrome or the FOMO took hold. And I was like, I can't miss this because I might need this in business 5 years down the line. The truth is, the business that I want to build now won't be sustainable in 5 years' time because the landscape is always changing. Businesses are always changing. The economy is constantly changing. Our rules and regulations from the HMRC are constantly changing. So actually having an idea of a business that I want to start in 5 years' time, I don't need to be doing training courses now or trying to start a business now when my main businesses are not comfortable and sustainable and stable yet. I think the phrase that's really apt here is doing one thing really well instead of 7 things mediocrely. Like, I am a victim of that. I've done that myself many, many times and have to keep reining myself back in. Because as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you probably have a million ideas of things you want to do, people's lives you want to change, things you want to create. And having to step back and slow down and focus on one thing at a time is sometimes really hard. The online space often over-glamorizes the idea of a side hustle without showing the actual implications that come with it. People are always like, oh yeah, make money while you sleep, set up this one thing and it'll evergreen run forever. You still have to put marketing efforts into that thing. You still have to put your time and effort into that thing, and every bit of time and effort you're putting into this new thing, the old thing is being left behind unless you've got your procedures stable enough and your business running securely enough. What people forget to say when they talk about this make money while you're asleep and starting a recurring revenue and having this extra side hustle is that your time is a limited resource. It's the one thing we can't make more of. It's the one thing we can't get back. If your main business needs focus, splitting that focus across multiple directions won't help you make more money, won't help you build any of the businesses. It will just spread you too thin, and burnout will then be just behind. So here's what I see time and time again. There's usually business owners that feel like their current work isn't enough. So they start a side hustle on top, and then they wonder why none of it's moving forward and they're stuck in the same place or they're drowning. Their energy is split all over the place. Their cash flow isn't consistent in any of the businesses, and they're not rested either. Sound familiar? Yeah. I've been there too. But you're not lazy, you're not not enough, you're just overloaded, because having more things to market doesn't mean you're building more profit. It just means your brain is constantly switching lanes and you're more tired than normal. Then throw in the fact if you're a working parent and you've got childcare and back to school and school photos and PE kits to remember and taking them to football and gymnastics and keeping a house and all of these things are just overloading you. And there's some things that you can drop right now. I love the analogy of balls. Like sometimes there's plastic balls or rubber balls that you can just drop and then pick them back up at a later date. And then there's those glass ones that you have to keep secure, because if you drop them they will break, and that usually is your main business as well. So think about those balls, and although the trend is showing you to have all these incomes, keep hold of those glass ones. Make sure those glass ones are nice and safe before we add in any extra balls to juggle. In fact, let's reframe it. Focusing on one income stream doesn't make you unambitious, it makes you quite smart. If you're building something brilliant and sustainable, you don't need 12 side hustles. What you need is a business that pays you properly, pricing that reflects the value you deliver, clients you love working with or products you love to create, customers you love to serve, and time to breathe. Because when that's working, the rest just kind of follows along. And I think out of all of those things, most business owners forget to take time to breathe. I am a huge example of that. This summer was the first summer in a long time where I took a couple of weekends out. I went away, I spent time with my children, I spent time with my friends, I went to some car shows. I had an incredible time. And usually entrepreneur Stephanie would feel really guilty about that. Mum Stephanie would feel really guilty about that. But actually, that has made me more productive. I've come back into the office with an absolute fire in my belly. I am so excited to take these businesses to the next level. I've got ideas coming out of my ears of things I want to do, content I want to create, services I want to launch. Because actually, the main ABCS UK brand is now solid. The procedures are in place, the policies are there, the strategies are clear. I know where I'm going, my plans are there. I can now follow the sat nav. Because I have that strong foundation, I can now start to build. So I'm not scrambling to prove someone right by having 12 different side hustles, and now I'm a independent travel consultant as well as everything else that I do. Yes, I have 4 businesses. I have 4 arms to my business. But all of those link together for one. They all have different ideal clients, but they all link together. They're one huge ecosystem. And actually, 2 or 3 of them have sat on the sidelines for quite a long time. One of them I only launched last month. So I've launched a new community for bookkeepers, because actually that's who I want to help as well. Not just the business owner. And I know a lot of you listen to this podcast and watch it. So hello if you are there. But my industry are full of incredible bookkeepers, accountants, financial advisors that they need help building their businesses too. Because what we all do as business owners is leave our business till last. Specifically service-based business owners, if you are constantly serving. So my dad was a mechanic. Our car used to have holes in the floor. I remember vividly him welding back together the floor of our red Vauxhall Corsa so it could get through its MOT. If you are a plumber, then your bathroom is probably the worst one you've ever seen, because you'll get to that later because you're too busy serving the clients. Once you've got that strong foundation, you can then grow and build and expand on that. And I am living proof that actually taking your time, so ABCS UK, my practice, is stable, secure. I am so happy with the people that I work with. I work with most amazing clients and can now start to build that, or adding other income streams, because this bit is solid. Let's talk about the tax of it as well, because the more side hustles you start, the more complicated your reporting is, the more complex your tax return is going to be. And depending on your structure, you might have MTD coming in next year, corporation tax, income tax, VAT, multiple payrolls, dividends across multiple companies, different income sources, different platforms, even different VAT considerations in some aspects, are just going to make it more confusing for you. And if you're doing it yourself, it's even more confusing, as opposed to bringing it to a bookkeeper or accountant like us at ABCS UK, where we understand the complex nature of multiple income sources and platforms. But it's very hard to keep a track of what tax you need to save, what tax you're going to pay. And to be effective with your tax strategies, to make sure that you're paying only the tax you need to pay and no more. So if you've got freelance work, a Shopify store, then some affiliate income, maybe a rental property, that's great. But that's 4 different things that you need to track and be ready for what that means come tax time. I've seen people earn £2,000 from a side hustle and pay more than that in fines because they didn't get it sorted properly. I've seen people earn £2,000 from one side hustle and then £5,000 from another side hustle, and businesses who are making £20,000-30,000 in profit are paying less tax because they've been strategic. Just because something is a little extra doesn't mean HMRC ignores it. Now, as I say, I'm not here to say never have a side hustle. There is multiple arms to ABCS UK, and sometimes they're exactly what you need. So here's some examples of where it would make sense for you to have a side hustle on top of your main business. You're testing a new idea before committing fully. You've got systems in place in your main business. You're not relying on it to rescue your cash flow. You've thought about the structure, the tax, and the time it will take. Maybe you've had a power hour with someone like us at ABCS UK so that you are really clear and understand where you're going and have plans in place to keep a track of it, and that it energizes you, not just drains you. It's not about the number of things that you offer. It's about how aligned they are with you, your values, and your business ideas and goals. As I say, in August, I launched the Mildly Social Community, which is a community for introverted bookkeepers to help them build their businesses better and build their businesses their way. As you can probably see if you're watching this on YouTube, I am so passionate about it. It is filling me with joy, getting to work with incredible other bookkeeping practice owners or bookkeepers in industry that are looking to take that step into starting their own practice. And yes, it's another string to the bow. It's one more thing to market. It's one more service to deliver. It's one more piece of content to create every week. But I am so excited. And it's something that I've sat on for over a year, waiting for the time to be right, waiting for me to have the capacity and the confidence and the knowledge and the market research and looking at the structures of it all before I put it out to market. If you're tempted by the idea of a side hustle because things feel kind of stuck right now in your business, ask yourself these 5 questions. 1, have I fully optimized my main business? Am I clear? Do I have systems and procedures in place? Is it a stable footing in my current business? 2, are my prices in my current business where they need to be? Pricing is the biggest issue I see in 99% of the businesses that I work with, whether that's bookkeeping practice owners, end users, clients. They all seem to just struggle when it comes to pricing. 3, am I tracking my profit and not just revenue? We talked about it a few episodes ago, the difference between revenue and profit. You could sell £20,000, but if you've got £18,000 of expenses, you've only made £2,000. And you need to be aware of that when you are tracking what your business is making. 4, do I have a system that runs smoothly? Policies and procedures are going to help you in your business. They're going to save you when times get hard. They're going to save you when you get busy. They reduce some of that decision overwhelm we have to make as busy business owners day in, day out. And it really does change the game with your business. And 5, am I trying to distract myself from doing the boring but necessary bits? Maybe there's something in your business right now that you know you need to do. Maybe you need to put your prices up and you're distracted. You don't want to do it and you're trying to distract yourself. So if I start this new thing, I can make more money that way. When actually you're just putting off the thing you know you need to do in your main business. Often a side hustle is simply a distraction with a to-do list. What you need might not be a second business. It might be a better process or a change in the one you've already got. So here is your permission slip if you need one. You don't need a side hustle to be successful. You don't need to launch 10 offers to be valid. And you don't need to do more. You need to do what actually works for you and your business. If you're feeling overwhelmed or unsure of where to focus, that is what I help with. We have power hours so that we can help you structure your business so it works without the hustle. If you go to abcsuk.com, you can book a power hour or grab one of our resources. And if you've got a business owner friend who's got 6 tabs open trying to launch yet another side hustle when the last one's floundering, send them this episode. With love, if that's you, if you've been sent this episode from somebody, they love you and they want you to take notice of what I've said in this episode. I'll be back next week with episode 129 of the 3Bs podcast. If you haven't listened to the old ones, do go back and listen to them. Hopefully there's some value for you. And next week we're talking AI, what to ignore, how to use it, And it's such a buzzword right now in most business spaces, especially online business spaces. So we're going to clear things up in 15 minutes or less and make you feel slightly more confident about AI, using AI, and understanding how it can benefit you in your business. Until then, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week for the next episode. Bye. And that brings us to the end of another episode of the 3Bs podcast. I hope you found it useful and that you're walking away with some motivation, inspiration, or education to help you build a better business. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and of course connect with us on social media for more insights, tips, and behind the scenes content. Your next step in building a better business is just a click away. I can't wait to connect with you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.